Been a long time since the last one of these, the African El Clasico, the African football blockbuster. There is not a bigger game in African football for forever really than Algeria against Egypt. It's been so long since we've seen the fierce rivalry between the two sides, but finally Egypt will face Algeria, and of course it was going to be in a neutral venue on Monday afternoon. Kickoff in the UK is at 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock Abu Dhabi time in the UAE, where Egypt will face off Algeria in Al Ain's Club Stadium. And I'm expecting good support from both teams. Maybe there'll be more supporters from Egypt. Of course, it's much closer to the UAE than Algeria is, and a lot of Egyptians live in the United Arab Emirates. But nonetheless, it should be a great atmosphere, Biladi, all that good stuff. It's going to be an amazing game. And when it's Egypt against Algeria, it's never just a friendly. It's more than a friendly. So, before we talk about this upcoming game, let's talk about the last time these sides met. And it was the AFCON semi-final where Egypt beat Algeria 4-0 in the Africa Cup of Nations back at the beginning of 2010. But I suppose the story of that game was when Algeria had 3 players sent off, as well as the goalkeeper Fawzi Chouchi headbutting the referee and not even receiving a red card. That referee that day, it's a long time ago, I've forgotten his name. He didn't referee a big African game ever again. He got investigated for corruption. But that Egypt side, 06, 08, 10, 3 AFCONs on the bounce. Very hard to see that repeated again. Of course, Senegal have made the last 2 finals, but that Egypt team was different class when they had Abu Trika and Goma at the back, the big centre half. That was a really good team. But that was just a big dramatic period. Of course, they had the World Cup qualifying where Algeria and Egypt were in the same group. Algeria beat Egypt 3-1 in the home game in the groups, and Algeria were 3-0 up in that game. The likes of Karim Matmour and players like that playing, and I remember 3-0 up and cruising, and Egypt got a late consolation late on to make it 3-1, and I was like, doesn't matter, we've still won the game comfortably. And then my dad told me that late goal was going to mean something, and ultimately it did, because Egypt won 2-0 in the reverse fixture. They scored right in added time to make it 2-0, which made the goal difference the same. Every statistic was the same. And ultimately, that Egypt goal in Algeria made that it was 3-3 on aggregate, basically. So there had to be a neutral playoff. And of course, Algeria said, we want it to be in Tunisia. Egypt said, we want it to be in Sudan. Of course, Egypt won that vote. The game was in Khartoum. And then the famous Antar Yahya goal, 200 miles an hour shot. And then Yahya comes out and says after the game, I hit it so hard that even Shaitan wouldn't have stopped it. So, great history, great African football heritage between the two sides. You see why it's the El Clasico now, the African El Clasico. How's this one going to be? 13 years on from that big hoo-ha, different narratives. Salah against Mahrez. You've got Rui Vitória managing Egypt, the former Benfica manager. This isn't just any old foreign manager. This is a high-profile manager that's managed in the Champions League, that's won titles with the likes of Benfica. He's a good coach. He beat Belgium in a friendly just before Morocco did it. Just before that World Cup, Egypt played Belgium. They beat them really comfortably, I have to say. Up until recently, Egypt looked quite good until they played Tunisia not long ago and lost that game 3-1, which was a bit of a shock across the summer. Egypt have since bounced back and beaten Zambia the other day. Really late goal. I think it was a late header, 1-0. But I actually think Zambia are a good side. I think you've got to remember Zambia with Avram Grant. He's got a lot of African football managerial experience behind him. I think he's taken Ghana to a final. So Zambia are a good side. It was more about Egypt late on getting the 1-0 win. That's going to give them confidence going into this game. They played pretty much the main team as well. Elneny and Salah both started that game. So how are they going to line up in this one? Well, I want all the big hitters playing. I want to see Salah. I want to see Marmoush. I want to see Mostafa Mohamed. I want to see Elneny. I want to see El Shaarawy in goal. Abdul Manem at centre half. I want to see Trezeguet. I want to see all these players playing against what is a confident Algeria team off the back of a 5-1 win against Cape Verde. Well, in terms of Algeria, we know that Ait-Nouri has been ruled out of this game. We knew that after the first game. Yasser Larouci has been called up by Algeria for the very first time. We might see Larouci thrown in at left back for this game. What a game to test him. Here you go, son. Welcome to African football, Yasser. This is some game to test him in. Larouci came out in an interview yesterday and said, look, I was born in Algeria. He was born in El Oued. A no-brainer for him to pick the Algerian national team, the Sheffield United fullback. So I expect Mandrea to be in goal for this one. Again, he is the number one now. I'd love to see Larouci play left back with. I mean, we didn't see him in the first game. We've got to see him now. Otherwise, it's November and that's it. I'm pretty sure there will be a couple of Algeria friendlies at the beginning of January. But by then, the squad will have been picked for the AFCON. So you can't really impress in those January games. So we've only got you've got 3 games left right now, if you're an Algeria international, to impress the gaffer. Larouci has to play. Ben Sebaini, Mandy, Youssef Artal, who's come under a lot of stick, not for on the pitch, for his off-the-pitch antics, posting his favour and his support for the people of Palestine. What on earth is the Mayor of Nice doing, saying that Youssef Artal has to apologise for supporting the Palestinian people or faces a contract termination at Nice? Who the hell are you, you stinky baguette? Stay out of it, muppet. So Artal, I hope he can focus on the pitch, because we know they don't say it does, but it does affect them on the pitch. I don't want to see... And also, by the way, you've got 2 Arab nations here playing in the Arab world. There should be a whole host of Palestinian support in this game. You saw what happened in the last game against Cape Verde. All the players holding the flag, the scarves. I hope Egypt do the same. Apparently Egypt wanted to do it in the Zambia game, but they weren't allowed. Let's see what happens here, of course, in the UAE. Midfield 3. We cannot do against Egypt away, flipping 2 midfielders and 4 attackers. That's just ridiculous. I think Feghouli will play in there. Awar has to play. And then, who's that last midfielder? Will he put Zerouki? Will he put Badawi? If he's adventurous, he'll put Shaibi. I think Feghouli and Awar have to be 2 of the 3. The third one, I'm not sure. If he's feeling confident, he'll play Shaibi there. If he's not so much, he'll be thinking of like a Zerouki, a Badawi, a Kadri, a Zorgan type figure to play in that third spot. And then those 3 attacking spots, maybe Ben Rama will get a game on the left. He came on, he won the pen. The Slimani penalty thing has been put to bed. What an idiot. Now, I love Slimani, but why on earth did he nick that pen from Benny? Like, I know he wanted to extend his goal-scoring record. You've already got it, mate. Ben Rama's low on confidence. He wants to score in front of the home fans. I don't think he ever has. Let him do it. So I think if Belmali's clever, he'll give Ben Rama a game. He'll bench Slimani. He'll play Guiri down the middle. And he'll play Mahrez on the right. Yes, Amora dropped his harsh. We know what Amora can do. And I'm fairly certain at some point in the game, whether he starts or if he comes on, we'll see Amora. It's not a criticism to bench Amora. We know what Amora can do. We're not too sure yet what Ben Rama can do at the national team level. So start him on the left, Mahrez on the right, and I play Guiri up front. Slimani doesn't need to play this game. This should be a really good game. And we're going to see how Algeria deal with hostile away atmospheres. Playing obviously at 8 o'clock there, but 5 o'clock here. It's going to be different climate. It'll be warm there. And we've played pretty much most big teams, other than playing Morocco. We've played Senegal, we've played Tunisia, we've played Nigeria, Guinea recently. We've battled with the big boys here. And if we go there and get a result, remember we haven't lost against an African team in 90 minutes since the actual group stage of the last AFCON, when we lost to Ivory Coast, which is where the upcoming tournament is going to be. So I hope for a good game. I hope it lives up to expectation. People have always wanted to see Salah Mahrez at international level go up against each other. And of course, they may well face each other again at the tournament in January. So what a better time to test ourselves against a good level team. I still think Egypt are a good side. I still think they'll go further than most people think they will. And this will be a good test to see how good Algeria are playing away from Algeria. We passed the first test winning in Dakar. How about this warm climate in the UAE? But I think I'm confident, as is the team. I think we're going to win the game 2-1. You know, Egypt will have more fans, but they're not the home team, of course. It's not in Cairo either. If this was in Cairo International Stadium, very different story, very different atmosphere. I think Algeria can win this game, but Egypt are a good side. And it'll be a testament to Egypt how good this Algeria win would be if we pull it off against them. But just looking at how Algeria come into this game and how Egypt performed against Zambia, the momentum is with the Algerians, the confidence is there. I think you'll see a defensive performance from Algeria. like when we went to Senegal. I think Mandrea's going to have to be making a lot more saves than he did in the Cape Verde game. And how are our defence going to deal with the likes of Salah? Now, Salah and Larouci, of course, they're both in the Premier League. So Larouci's faced a few wingers already this season. And then can we deal with Mustafa Mohamed up top with Ben Sebaini and Mandy at the back there? You'd hope so if they're playing him up front. And we've got two centre-halves to deal with him. And then we need to be more clinical in front of goal because El Shaarawy is a good goalkeeper. Guiri missed a whole hat of chances in the first game. He's got to start again. He's got to score in this game, I think, to really get his Algeria career, I should say, under away. So really looking forward to this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I think Algerian television are showing the game once again because it's a friendly, so it should be fairly easy and accessible to watch this one again. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. I'll see you next time.